Negro League historians describe Nolington Burbage as a brilliant player who maintained a known .303 career batting average in the over 22-year career. Of course, I'm talking about Nolington Ottaway Burbage. Teammates called him KO, but friends and family called him Buddy. Buddy faced severe discrimination and racial segregation, which prevented him from pursuing a major league career. Despite that, his career lasted from 1927 to 1954. Buddy's Negro League career began with the Baltimore Black Sox, and he was part of great lineups with Hilldale, the Pittsburgh Crawfords, the Homestead Grays, Philly Stars, the New York Black Yankees, and more in the 1930s to mid-40s. During World War II, Buddy worked in the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, and after the war, he continued his career with the Harrisburg Giants, and he even played in Canada and Rosedale until 1954. He died in Philadelphia in 1988. Almost 30 years later, his grandson, Pierre Burbage, would be shot and killed outside a rec center in the Mantua neighborhood.
Homicide detectives are investigating a deadly shooting in Philadelphia's Mantua section tonight on the steps of a community center. Police say the 29-year-old victim's young son was with him and may have witnessed his father's murder. Surveillance video showed the victim involved in an argument with the suspect before the gunman fired 3 shots. One of the bullets hit the door of the community center here on the 600 block of North 39th Street.
The Burbages have a knack for making the news in Philadelphia, all for completely different reasons.
Philadelphia police have taken a suspect into custody for a murder outside a community center in Mantua. Detectives say Mohammed Johnson of Pratt Street gunned down 29-year-old Pierre Burbage 1 week ago tonight along the 600 block of North 39th Street. Police say the victim's son was nearby when his father was killed. The son was not harmed.
We discussed Buddy already, known for his Negro League career, and his grandson, Pierre. In 2021, Pierre's sister was in the news. An Enquirer article about her discovering who her grandfather was, as well as her success coming from the same circumstances as Pierre did. Pierre himself was quoted in that article before his death of saying how proud he was of his sister and all her success. 5 years later, it would be her nephew, Jameer, who would again make the news, this time for a much darker reason.
You ever woke up feeling like you want to drill today? You ever woke up feeling like you want to drill today?
Every day I do. Y'all want to see when I text my
Bro,
niggas in the chat?
yo, what y'all on, bro? I'm about to take a picture on your block, bro. So if you're not out there, it's exposing y'all today. I'm about to go to the mine and take a picture. Watch this.
Matter of fact, right to the mine right now.
So the mine.
No, chill. I'm about to go through there right now.
No, I'm about to take a picture on the block.
I'm going through the mine right there, bro.
Watch this.
He said, take a pic right now.
I promise you, I'm about to go on your block, bro. Watch this, bro. You're gonna be T. Watch this, bro.
Bro, like where you getting all this from? Like,
I better get cut on this time because I promise you, I'm about to go on your block.
You know what
Word. Wait, I should do it on live or get off.
We on live with it.
So you go.
Hurry up, my phone on 3. My phone on 3.
And I'm a couple minutes away. Like,
You a couple minutes away from the mic. I'm down the street from the mic.
watch this, bro. I'm really taking a picture on the mic today. Now they got me
you gonna check? What you gonna do? Smell it?
Her personal journey inspired the article, as she was the only one of her 9 siblings to go to college. While at college is when she found out that her half-brother Pierre was killed in front of her nephew, Jameer. Jameer Burbage hit the news earlier this year as he was one of the 19 people indicted in the YBC CCK investigation that lasted nearly 2 years. Much like Arshad and Hamza Curry, Reek 1200, Lil Bucks, and countless others in this story whose father were locked up or killed early on in their lives, the ones doing the most were the ones with severely incomplete family circumstances. Studies show that missing one, or even worse, both parents, mixed with extreme poverty and income inequality, is a recipe for disaster. We've told this story a few different ways over the years, as I've been here since the beginning, back with STVPhilly. 2022 was my first doc on YBC. Since starting this channel, groups like YBC and CCK have been terrifying their neighborhood and their family members, as it seemed a whole generation of Lil Mares was growing up, father dead or in jail.
Pop Pop lock and drop it, had your homie on that dance floor. Nigga outside with no gun, like what you playing for? Cook a nigga from both sides, that's what your man for. Nigga got caught playing both sides and he got backdoor. Talking about them spice bros, just trying to break the bank.
Poverty, destruction, and pain are often the most felt symptoms of these neighborhoods.
I just a dead, I don't make no fucking love songs. How you still alive? That nigga caught one to the dome. 2 niggas got shot on the 8 right at the candlelight. We the reason why the ops keep dying left and right. Lil Moo always on the mind, on foot with the ARP.
Breaking overnight, 3 people are in critical condition after shooters fired several rounds into a car in Philadelphia's Mantua section. Police say a man and 2 women came under fire at around 11:30 last night at the corner of 38th and Wallace Streets. Each victim was struck several times. Police recovered shell casings from both a rifle and a handgun. Witnesses tell police they saw a light-colored vehicle pull up to the car and the shooters opened fire. Police are searching surveillance cameras for leads on the gunman.
30 shots on the 9, I had first point of view. I'm watching niggas get low. He ain't had no hash now, he got 2. My youngin' getting grown. Supply all the work.
One of the first tastes of beef for the current YBC members was with 39th and Poplar and 43rd and Wyalusing. 43rd and Wyalusing, which is part of YBC, was at the center of this. 39th and Poplar, or the 9, as Duel always referred to it as, were originally closely associated with YBC. However, a split between the blocks happened in part because a 39th Street affiliate named Shamar Johnson cooperated with law enforcement against someone from 43rd and Wyalusing. This was the original pick a side time. That's why before 2020, you would see people from those blocks together.
Put him on TV. 15-second channel, 6 news clip, but you was screaming, you a demon. Felt that hot shit now, his body steaming. And I got aim, I'm a shooter, just like Dame. They say I act like 2, I ain't gon' lie, we is the same. That's my mama's son, we got the same blood, it's in our veins. I regret serving auntie, she ain't here, I feel ashamed. How you bite the hand that fed you, how you go against the grain? Y'all was locked on what happened, I don't know, feelings changed. 3 pink 10s when I'm fucked up, just to ease me through the pain. This strictly for the guys, you this D9, I tap a brain.
Duel's brother Rico is from 39th and Haverford.
Last year when the Eagles went downtown, we was moving out. Stab Reese on some whole shit, coach y'all outside and start moving out. Instant snitch, y'all talk a lot of shit, but in DMs, y'all be copping out. We ain't talking about waves, nigga, when we slide through with the choppers out. Said fuck the bottom, that was on site, had my young boys outside your house. Tell Fave to meet me at Checkers on the corner, nigga, right by his house. I'm the type to shoot a nigga crib, leave his mom dead right on the couch. First off, free rah-rah, he did a strong arm like Pop. We ain't talking about lifting weights, he had hot shit like hot fry. YBC this mob ties. I'm a demon, nigga got blood eyes. Fuck the
She and others are from around 38th and Mount Vernon. This ignited a wave of shootings between former allies. Between October 2019 and February 2021, this specific beef sparked at least 10 non-fatal shootings and 1 homicide across their respective blocks. Some early incidents I should mention in this war included an October 2019 shooting on Wyalusing Ave and a March 18, 2020 shooting on Poplar Street where Shamar's friend Naeem Benji Copeland was shot. Lil Moo and Band Up Yaz, both in the Philly famous Reddy family, were early players in this beef. Lil Moo was shot in 2020 allegedly by Sidney Sessoms. Moo, along with a friend that day, were both shot. A few days later, Lil Moo, unfortunately, was shot a second time.
Yeah, 9 times.
Oh, so this the 9 that you took in total?
Yeah, I got shot 4 days apart. September 4th, September 8th.
And both of these is 15 years old.
15. I'm running all that. Like, yeah, we gotta get something going, but before I turn myself in, I'm gonna have to sit for like 24 months, 23 months. He wasn't going to like no adult police, I'm in jail or not. He was just going to policeman. So I'm like, all right, bet that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get my mom and I'm gonna set something up. We're gonna send you out with a bang. That's what ended up happening. It got around 6 o'clock. So we out there, females out there, there's niggas out there, you feel me? Everybody out there, there's family members out there, my little sister out there. I'm standing in the middle of the street and all that. My little sister come across the street. I went to go walk her back across the street, grab her hand, walk her across the street, look for the 2 cars and all that. All right, cool. Let her go. When I let her go, turn my head, I thought I caught something on my peripheral. Probably like 2 minutes later, I meant like 30 seconds later, once I turned my back and stopped looking from that direction, first shot went off, first shot instantly hit me. I didn't even know what happened. Like, that shit hit me right here in my leg. when it hit me in my leg, my whole leg died on me. Like I couldn't even feel it. Like it was just a.
So that happened to me too.
It was just that shit. You feel me? I down there died. I went to turn. Feel me? Seen a nigga behind me. Seen a nigga on the side of me. Another nigga in front of me. Whatever. Then second shot go off. Watch my girl, little cousin Z baby. She got shot. She fall or whatever. I take off. Wham.
How old was she?
She was a year under me, 14. So take off, whatever. Try to get away from them or whatever. And all that. I had my gun on me and all that. 4 days later, I'm sitting in the house. One of my homies called me and shit.
And you still healing from?
Yeah, I'm still healing from the first job.
So you got hit one time that day in your leg, that's it?
One time.
Okay.
4 days later, I'm chilling in the crib and all that. They got me all on these medicines and shit. This shit got me all fucked up, lazy and all that. I'm sitting in the crib. My man called me like, what you doing? I'm about to come around there and chill with you for a little bit. I tell him, bet. My mom eavesdropping over here my conversation. Started talking about nobody coming over here. If somebody
typical mom, yeah, that's how they be.
Started drawing or whatever. So, mind you, this the same block I just got shot on 4 days ago. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, we just gonna sit on the porch. Long story short, my man ended up coming and all that. So when he come and all that, I start breaking the story down to him, like telling him like, cause you could still see everything. You feel me? All this shit fresh. You still see bullet holes, yellow tape, all types of shit. And again, I turn, look, it's a car coming up the block, car seat in the back seat. Nigga driving, COVID mask. I don't see nobody in the backseat, nothing. Don't even pay too much attention to it. This COVID time, everybody wearing a COVID mask. Nigga came up from the backseat, like he just spawned in the backseat and came out the window on me. You know what I'm saying? That happened like that.
Dang, where you get hit this time?
Took 8 more. I got shot in my leg, upper leg, shot in my ass.
You got shot 8 times?
Yeah, the second time I got shot 8 times. You feel me? Shot in my legs, calf muscle and all that. My foot, I can't even feel like none of my tool on that foot.
Dang.
A 16-year-old boy is recovering again from being shot a second time in the past week in West Philadelphia. It happened on the same block, the 4300 block of Paris Street. Police say the teen was shot 6 times in the legs last night, was taken to the hospital where he is in stable condition. Back on Friday night, the boy was shot once in the leg.
In 2016, Joseph Johnson, then 17, was arrested for a gunpoint armed robbery and carjacking and charged as an adult. He ended up serving some time before getting out.
I just done my shot. I smoked Gorilla Joe.
Gorilla Joe, as his family and friends called him, didn't start his life living in West Philly. Joe was born down South Philly before moving to Mantua. He moved to the 3200 block of Brandywine, to be specific. When Joe got arrested in 2016 for the armed robbery, he had a young boy with him that day. According to an article in the Inquirer, Joe thought the young boy told on him and was spreading the word that a young boy from 38th and Wallace was snitching. On some blocks, snitching is a death sentence. However, if you label someone a rat, you have to stand on the blowback that comes from that as well. Detectives told the Inquirer in that very same article that they did not think that the young boy told, and that the reason he received a lighter sentence was because he was charged as a juvenile, and Joe, who was 17 at the time, ended up charged as an adult. So when Joe was released from custody in 2021, the detective said he labeled his co-defendant and his former friend as a rat and started spreading the word that 38th and Wallace couldn't be trusted. From there, he said, Gorilla Joe had a target on his back. On September 22nd, Joe was sitting on the steps of his house looking at his phone when around 10 a.m. a white car pulled up and 2 gunmen jumped out. They shot him 9 times before he could run inside. Detectives built their case using Ring doorbell footage, using social media posts, which included videos. A few weeks after Joe bled out on his steps, Walter Kegler, known as SB, and another 38th Street member hopped on Instagram Live to dance on the grave of Gorilla Joe. They invoked his name, and they laughed that he, quote, should have ducked. They questioned the street survival skills of a man who would sit outside, distracted on his phone, in the middle of a ward. Before logging off, they promised to come for the mother of a YBC member next. At SB's 2025 trial, a neighborhood patrol officer took the stand and summarized the nature of the murder. From there, it began, he said. Back and forth, the detective testified. A jury ultimately found Walter Kegler guilty. They handed him life in prison plus an additional 20 years for an August 2021 shooting in University City at 40th and Chestnut. An incident, they said, where the exact same gun used to execute Gorilla Joe was used to shoot another man by the name of Brandon Chastain. B. McFly, the influencer in Philadelphia, has a son named Brandon Chastain. B. McFly lives in West Philadelphia. B. McFly has also talked about himself being shot and his son being shot, I believe, in 2020. Every piece of the puzzle that I did find pointed directly towards this being his son. On paper, the conviction looked like a victory for the state, but closure for the Johnson family was an illusion. The white car that pulled up to Brandywine Street that day held 2 gunmen. Kegler is locked up, but the second shooter who helped gun down Gorilla Joe vanished back into the West Philly streets.
Oh my God.
I don't wanna smoke you Rizzy no more. Swing the bud past the fro. Truly just died, another trophy on the shelf. Dissing on Josh, that shit ain't good for your health.
The beef didn't start out as a war. It rarely does. Josh Munson, born in 2001, was just a kid raised in West, running up and down the courts at Christie Recreation Center near 56th and Christian Streets in Cobbs Creek before his family moved near 42nd and Leidy. One afternoon, Josh's mother was pulling laundry from the wash when she noticed a pattern. She kept coming across t-shirts with 3 red letters, YBC. When she asked her son what it meant, he told her it was just a new music group that he and his friends had started, Youngins Bout Chicken, or the Young Bag Chasers. In Philadelphia, an acronym often carries 2 or 3 different meanings to the folks on the block. Josh swore to his mother that this was strictly a music bond, that it wasn't a gang. 6 years later, that conversation still haunts her. She spoke to the Philadelphia Inquirer reporter, Ellie Russian, detailing how that innocent collective mutated to a violent street group. By May 2019, Josh, by then known as Baby YBC, was shot and killed. The music had officially given way to blood. A few days after Josh's murder, his mom went to his candlelight vigil. She remembers seeing Dole pacing the asphalt, practically vibrating with grief. She reached out to embrace him, but Dole refused to hug. He couldn't let her close. He had a gun tucked in his waistband. Josh's mom pleaded with Dole and the rest of YBC. She begged him not to retaliate, warning that more violence wouldn't resurrect her son. She didn't want another mother to inherit this specific, suffocating agony. They didn't listen. To understand why they didn't listen is to understand that the streets are a high-stakes con. The streets are a lie. It's a lethal game of survival where 14, 15, and 16-year-olds are tasked with making life or death decisions in a vacuum of protection. They are lied to by the old heads, by the politicians, by the police, and most damningly, by the phantoms who put guns into the hands of teenagers. Imagine a trap. Your lifelong friend gets jumped in the 10th grade by 3 to 5 kids, let's say over a girl. You step in to help him fight day after day. That's your homie. Of course you are. Eventually, the bruises start to hurt and the exhaustion sets in. And at 15 years old, your friend buys a 40. He says it's to protect himself. Fast forward, that same friend is tragically murdered by affiliates of the group you've been fighting with. The funeral passes, the school counseling fades, but the boys who killed your friend, they haven't disappeared. This is when a lot of the times the paranoia begins to set in. Severe depression takes root. The rivals are still hunting and taunting, and you still have to walk to school. What system is set up to protect a person like this? What shield do they have? A teenager makes the only logical, doomed calculation available. I'd rather be caught with it than without it. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. By the time the calendar flipped to 2021, the trauma was only compounding. The violence escalated far beyond Josh's death. accelerated by pride. An assistant district attorney said that the feud between YBC and 38th Street escalated in early 2021 after a YBC member spat on the sister of someone from 38th Street. The 38th Street guys then jumped the kid from YBC, he said, and that day, bullets were sprayed down 38th and Wallace. No one was shot or arrested, he said. But YBC was suspected of firing the shots. And by the time Gorilla Joe was killed in 2021, things had already escalated beyond repair.
Surveillance video shows suspects opening fire in Mantua this morning, chasing down their victims before driving off. 4 people were injured on the very same block where 2 people were killed just last night. Action News reporter George Solis is live for us now at Philadelphia Police Headquarters. And George, this makes 2 deadly crime scenes 13 hours apart on the same stretch of street.
That's right, Sarah, and police are looking into the similarities of both of these shootings, but it's too early to say that they are connected at this time, according to authorities. One thing officials did note, though, based on the number of shell casings they found, people shooting here had a blatant disregard for human life. Surveillance video obtained by Action News shows the heart-pounding moments a violent shooting unfolded Thursday morning in the city's Mantua section. Watch again as a Tanda Gold Jeep pulls up at 38th and Aspen Street. A trio exits and begins firing off shots. Police said one man in particular was chased for a short distance before the group comes running back and speeds off. Police said 4 men were hurt in the hail of gunfire. Among the wounded, 2 32-year-olds and a 44-year-old, and 1 victim whose age was not reported. Their injuries mostly contained to the lower body and for the time being appear to be non-fatal.
A significant number of fired shell casings on the highway, clearly indicating that there was little or no concern for life in the neighborhood.
Nothing but God. Nothing but God.
We spoke with one woman who asked not to be identified about her close encounter with some of the stray bullets that blew through one of the homes on the block.
Only thing we heard was just bullet shots, just everywhere. And where I was sitting at on the couch, the bullet would have struck me. It's all in his walls. It knocked down his pictures off of his walls.
This latest shooting comes hours after fatal gunfire erupted on the block late Wednesday. Police responded to a call of a 30-year-old woman who was shot multiple times while she was driving in the 3700 block of Aspen. She was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead. She was found with a gun on her lap. A second victim was found in the area, an 18-year-old who was shot in the chest. He later died from his injuries. Police have said it's too early to say if the cases are connected.
I'm not saying it is, but the investigators really have to dig into that.
Yeah, so far, no motive and no arrests. Police are hopeful that surveillance cameras in the area will help in their investigation. We're live outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters. George Solis, Channel 6, Action News.
4 niggas bounce from out that J, he ain't know what to do. Put a switch on back to 10 and win in quarters 2. Way too many clappies on the mind, and we still betting through. Swear get fast on his feet, that boy be getting loose. Benji took a headshot, still alive, next time give him 2. Roger took so many shots, we more than a few.
The neighborhood of West Philadelphia, historically known as the Black Bottom, which ran from about 33rd to 40th Streets on the east and west, and by Lancaster Avenue and Market Streets on the north and the south. The smell of Sunday dinners, the laughter echoing off of front porches, and the fierce, protective love of a community holding on after the First World War. In the 1930s, federal housing policies targeted this close-knit community through redlining. The Homeowners Loan Corporation, or HOLC, deployed local real estate experts to draft residential security maps, officially branding the Black Bottom as a Grade D neighborhood and coloring it red to signify it was, quote, hazardous for financial lending. This designation sunk land value, blocked access to fair mortgage lending, and restricted the residents of the Black Bottom from financing home repairs, initiating decades of public disinvestment and localized property deterioration. The system played its dirty game, but we have to understand they aren't going to double back and reinvest. By 1950, despite the system stacking the deck against the black and immigrant people of Philadelphia, the Black Bottom did something miraculous. The row houses stood shoulder to shoulder, holding the laughter and Kodak moments for a neighborhood of black folk. They knew how to make a home out of hard times. The churches held the community together like glue, and the local markets, black owned, fed the children. It was a fortress of memory and survival. But let's be entirely clear about how power operates in America. None of that shit matters. When university administrators and city planners looked across the street and saw land that they coveted, they came and got it. The decades of love poured into these porches, gone in an instant. Eminent domain. Armed with the Federal Housing Act of 1949, they found a legal loophole. The federal government offered to pay 66% of the cost to erase history, provided the city could prove the area was considered, quote, a slum. The feds offered to foot 2/3 of the bill for what they politely called slum clearance, which is just a fancy euphemism for get the Negroes out. In 1963, the University City Science Center, a massive urban research park, intended to serve as the structural centerpiece of the renewal zone. In 1963, the power of the medical and educational sector, like the University of Pennsylvania, Drexel, and Penn Medicine, zeroed in on the area formerly known as the Black Bottom, while extending no relocation assistance to neighbors. In the 1960s and 70s, the bulldozers came, and just like that, we have University City. More BS from the city gained nationwide attention in 1978 and again in 1985, when West Philadelphia drew violent clashes between police and an Afrocentric back-to-nature group called MOVE. During the latter confrontation in 1985, police firebombed the group's headquarters, killing 11 people and destroying an entire block of Osage Avenue and Pine Street in the Powelton Village section. Fast forward to the early 2000s, and you have a generation of fathers gone. The specific number of black men who served sentences of more than 5 years between 1985 and 2000 is not tracked or an easy number to pin down, because record keeping has varied in accuracy over the years. However, the Department of Justice records from the peak of the mass incarceration era provide an estimate during this 15-year window. Between 1985 and 2000, the total number of individuals in state and federal prisons more than doubled, growing from 750,000 to almost 2 million. By 2001, the BJS reported that an estimate 2.1 million black adults had served time in state or federal prison at some point in their lives, with adult black men experiencing a lifetime incarceration rate of 16.6%. By the end of 2000, almost 10% of all black men between the ages of 25 and 29 were actively serving time in prison on any given day. Philadelphia is one of the most segregated major cities in America in terms of neighborhood demographics. The early 2000s is around the time a lot of the people I'm going to be talking about in this video were born. YBC Duel was born in July of 1999, I believe. Duel, whose real name was Abdul Vicks, was the prominent face of the Young Bag Chasers and the most central figure in the Philadelphia drill rap scene. Widely known as Mr. Disrespectful, a title given to him by his fans, Duel left an undeniable, highly controversial, and bloody mark on Philadelphia. Youngins Bout Chicken is an alternative acronym for YBC, but the group's members used it interchangeably with Young Bag Chasers. Ultimately, both Youngins Bout Chicken and Young Bag Chasers carried the exact same underlying message. They were created to represent a collective of young friends from West Philadelphia who were entirely focused on hustling and making money together in the streets. But in 3 quick years, it went from making money to killing as many people as they could. The first person from YBC to get killed on the street was Joshua Munson, who was born on April 25th, 2001. Lil Bucks was born a few years later in January of 2004. Lil Bucks is another prominent drill rapper from West Philly and acts as the frontman for O to the 4, and they also call themselves the Campers, which makes up the first C in the CCK alliance. Lil Livy will say is the main member from the Clappers, the second C in CCK. Lil Livy is close friends with One Mirror and Lil Bucks sometimes. One Mirror noted that him and Lil Livy actually started out bumping heads and not seeing eye to eye when they were a little bit younger, but eventually they put their differences aside and became friends.
You ain't shit to nobody. You still gonna backdoor a little bash for me or no? Like, what's up, cousin?
Bro, what, bro?
You
You
know they left
shit
low shit flat. Like,
bro,
you my little
bullshit.
cousin. Why you always trying to act like that on this app, bro? Listen, half y'all niggas in this joint. Stop glazing me.
Who are you?
Bro.
We about to bed on you.
You got
buzz with no money, nigga. No,
Bro,
all right,
what?
yeah. Oh, this cuz right here with the newbie sweatsuit on and like 4
that
bits.
when he left Duca in the water.
What happened?
What up last time you was on your block?
Who said that?
Nigga, that's Donna. The nigga when the last time you was on your block.
Wallahi, I'm
That shit
outside
got
right now
cracking
on the
and
6th.
DK died the next day, nigga. The fuck is you talking
Bro,
about?
who just said they out there right now?
Little bully,
Nigga,
nigga.
they
That
said
shit
yo,
got
yo,
cracking last
Libby,
time I was on the block.
Libby,
Yeah,
they
nigga,
said the
word
young boy
shit, bro. I
30.
only live around the corner from that joint, so if I come in on that joint right now,
Say, Moran, don't do it to him, Moran.
I'm on the 6 right now, nigga. Niggas going wild.
Then his man got fried the next day.
Libby, niggas was on 66th Street live, bro. You joined the live and then did.
Huh?
You joined the live and then did. And the niggas was on the 6 live. On the real 6, nigga. Fuck with y'all talking about the 56.
Bro, I was OT. I don't even know y'all. Why would I stay on your live? Y'all beefing with Bucks and them, but if we with bro them when
Bro, ain't talking my time. Ain't talking my time. Shut up.
Bro, nigga, if y'all wanted us to drill on y'all niggas, we would have killed all y'all homies.
Bro, nobody is gonna say your name in the song, bro.
Niggas
You don't even
be
say
fanned out.
Niggas.
What are you talking about, bro?
You just said you sliding with the niggas. That's what you just said on here, right or wrong?
I said if niggas outside and catch your folks with bro them, it's that. What are you talking about? We outside? How we outside? You talking about hopping in the V slide? Bro, I'm $1 million nigga. You was a bitch. Hopping in the V with who?
Them CCK niggas, them little, the niggas from your block gonna hop in that V.
We all the same shit. We CCK.
Yeah,
Yes,
so y'all gonna hop
niggas
in
in
that
that
V. You was
V
going to
together.
the 4 niggas, right or wrong?
Yes, niggas in that V together.
Alright, so what you mean, nigga? I'm smacking.
If they call up, be like, man, do what you do, bro. Y'all savage, bro. Spin a block. You say you was gonna spin a block. I don't even smell what you doing.
Don't condone that shit, bro. You just dicking, and niggas know that from your
bro. Do you see what we doing to the ops right now? Why is y'all chatting?
In this video here, we're going to track a horrible and bloody war that killed dozens of young men and caused the city hundreds of casualties. The first blood between these groups wasn't spilled until 2021, and the war effectively ended with the 2026 indictment of the two groups, along with other West Philly gangs. The district attorney ended up dismantling the whole thing. By the time most people in this video were 9 or 10, some of the most formative years of a young man's life, drill rap had started in Chicago, followed by the UK and New York a few years later, before making its way to Philly in around 2019. What I'm about to put together is a massive overview of almost every incident I could find, every gunshot, every person dissed, every word Larry Krasner told these young men along the way. What you will witness will get exhausting, but imagine all the law-abiding citizens who have to live in these war zones, in these conditions that are both in and out of control of the people who live there. You know the details of most of the stories I'm about to cover, but never has everything all been put in one place for people to see how much pain the few have caused. West Philly has about 175,000 people living in it. Even more specific, in the 16th Police District, where most of the activity in this video happened, it has about 70,000 residents. In this video, I'm going to mention less than 100 people. Not even all of them are criminals. Some are innocent victims caught up in the violence. Even if it were 100 people will be about 0.142% of the population in that neighborhood. Round that number up if you want. We are talking about the tiniest fraction of people making it miserable for everybody else. But the vast majority of people I'm going to talk about in this video all share one thing in common, however. By the time they were old enough to even make clear decisions, their survival instincts in the war zone had to kick in. Pre-COVID, things in Philadelphia weren't all too different, except for one thing.
And this little one from West Side, I don't think twice, run it down, get your chest fried up. I know that the pill's gonna kill, but I don't really care while I'm here, get the best side up. All these bitches gonna talk down, just let them up, just wait till the check fly up.
This is how Philly rap sounded back in 2019.
Try me now. I was on the news and I was sucking five, still around. Niggas, they be capping, they ain't trapping, they ain't flip a pound. I'll kill myself for ducking action, cause y'all niggas clowns. Nigga, who you riding on? Bullets say you jumping in the air like you had skies on. Bitch, keep on talking about I'm cheating, I don't high phone.
Got different color on my diamonds, I can't even see the time. DTOVO, we back again, we going back.
Mario bro smashing. He get hit with that Glock if he backing. I hit that shit, hold the neck. A chest shot to break out his back. You know I'm back at it again. I just fell out with the plug and he cut me off. You know I start trapping again.
Drill music wasn't born yet. FS the Bender was gang warring with Richard Allen still in North Philly, and Lil Bucks was only 15 but had already lost friends to the street. Growing up in Philly, on average, is pretty rough. West Philly in particular is a different animal. The bottom of West Philly is some of the most abject poverty in this country. During 2020, the Young Bag Chasers formalized as an official set. In December of that year, YBC Dual officially created the Young Bag Chasers LLC. Late in 2020, 16-year-old Samaj Nolan, known as Reek 1200, began his association with YBC/YFA and fully transitioned his rap style into the violent drill music genre. Philadelphia's homicide rate spiked dramatically in 2020, reaching 499 murders. Drill rappers a lot of the times say this massive increase was due to the COVID-19 pandemic, pointing out that the government stimulus checks provided money to buy switches and semi-automatic firearms, while the normalization of wearing face masks made it extremely easy for the shooters to conceal their identities in public. Between late 2020 and early 2021, 16-year-old Amin Hurst embarked on a violent crime spree that will ultimately include 4 murders and 2 armed robberies. On March 2nd, 2020, at around 5:10 p.m., 19-year-old Nafi Calkins, also known as Bud, was shot nearly a dozen times while at a basketball court near 39th and Olive Streets in the Mantua neighborhood. The shooting stemmed from a fistfight between Bud and a friend named Kasim Easley. 20-year-old YBC member Kayvon Lee intervened in the fight, and Bud ended up getting shot, and he was pronounced dead at 5:22. Kayvon Lee, or YBC Vine, was later convicted for Bud's death. This incident marked the first time a YBC member was charged with murder, and Bud became a frequent target for the extreme disrespect in YBC's music going forward.
A man was shot and killed on a basketball court in Mantua this evening. The shooting happened on the 3900 block of Olive Street around 5 o'clock. Police say the victim was shot multiple times. At this point, police have not discovered a motive, and no one has been arrested.
The gang coming, man.
Back out here, man. She better back out here.
I'm
Dre.
I'm saying, yo,
You got Cod,
gang shit.
G100, you know you cut see gutter. Yeah, coming good. Gang, man. Free Rara, free Zombie.
Yeah, free Vaughn too.
Free Nine.
They talk free Joe. Free Sheen, free Rock.
Free Wanye, man.
I'm saying, free Nana. Free Nana.
Free the whole gang.
Free the army. LC, do man.
Free the army, man. Recipes to other fallen shoes, RPCJ, man.
Let's take it back. So when dude copped out, said approached him with 2 strands. Said Hayne and the beef, he was never a part of that. Quill never saved him, he would've been bro second pack.
For 7 days of the week, I can smoke a different day.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy.
8 days, I'm gonna go back on
that's
Sunday.
Crazy.
When the 7 days over, the next Monday, I'm gonna smoke another name, the 8th one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
If we don't talk about innocent victims, we don't count other bodies. There's other bodies too. We only talk about the war.
They wanna know the best strain, bro, the best pain.
Most in the back screen froze.
I just sold a pound of the fro off one play.
We ain't giving out warning, we just sending shots. He was a good boy, we had to make his chest hot. Water mine campus and he been through our block. Curiously, he was walking away, ain't had to get a drop.
In January of 2021, police released surveillance images of 2 men wanted for murdering a 15-year-old boy in West Philly. Video shows Jaquan Williams, accused Raw, walking in the area of 40th and Cambridge Streets when he was struck in the head by gunfire from 2 suspects. Q Raw was loved by 39th Street and Lamont. YBC/YFA would go on to claim this wreck and disrespect the deceased 15-year-old Moore by mentioning him by the wrong name and calling him Q Rizzy instead of Q Raw and saying they were smoking on Q Rizzy.
We gon' blame the troll on for the past, another day, bitch, watch him out. We them youngers that hop out and stand on beds. Get that drop, cause he was thinking with his dick, that's what it is. We get over, know they mad, cause what's the name got put to bed.
They shot Q Rizzy from a block away and still pop his pump. That bullet green.
Bro, keep rolling dead, ops, you try to stop the punt. Pro Rizzy trolley in the air, that shit be numbing us.
If Rizzy never crossed the street, they probably never tapped his head.
A few months later, on the other side of West Philly, Lil Bucks and O to the 4 had their own drama going on. They beefed with 524 and 616, who lived a little bit closer to them. 616 affiliate Angelo Walker was killed on a July 4th weekend in 2020. On July 5th, at around 8:20 p.m., 15-year-old Angelo Walker, a high school football player known as Lil Low, was shot on the 6100 block of Nassau Road. He was rushed to Lincoln Hospital, but was pronounced dead that night. July 5th, 2020 was the same day that friend of both Lil Bucks and Sloan, who I mentioned earlier, was also killed.
5 accused members are off the streets. The district attorney's office says the group was behind several shootings over the past 2 years. Madeline Wright is live right now at police headquarters with a search for 3 additional suspects. Madeline?
Good evening, Jessica. The Philadelphia District Attorney's Office says that a small number of people is responsible for a large amount of violence here in the city. And now some of those accused gang members are behind bars. Today, I caught up with the grieving mother of one of the victims.
Just very inquisitive, very just always wanted more.
A champion track star and A+ student is how Nadisha Williams remembers her 15-year-old son, Antonio Walker. Authorities say Antonio was walking with his cousin on Pentridge Street in West Philadelphia to meet some friends back in March 2021, when someone in a car pulled up and opened fire, killing Antonio and leaving his mother shattered.
Every second of the day has been complete torture.
Authorities believe Anthony Lacey Woodson is among those responsible for Antonio's death. Williams describes the moment she found out he was taken into custody.
They called his father on Friday, and he called me, and I was just shaking because I honestly, it's almost 2 years I've really kind of lost hope in the, judicial system. And this just let me know that the cops are working.
The Philadelphia DA's office says Lacey Woodson and 4 others are responsible for multiple shootings across the city and were arrested. 3 other suspects are still at large. Authorities say all 8 suspects are members of the 02-4 gang.
This is a big swing taking against a horrible group that for too long has caused incalculable pain to the good residents of the city of Philadelphia.
As for Nadisha Williams, the arrest of her son's alleged killer means she can close out the year with justice.
I have another older son and another younger son that I worry for every single day. This eases a little bit of the worry for me.
In March of 2021, Philadelphia police arrested Deshaun Packer along with Devin Bryant, Xavier Vinny, and Sabir Scott for their alleged involvement in a series of retaliatory shootings across West and Southwest Philadelphia in 2018 and 2019. Using ballistics evidence, surveillance footage, cell phone data, and social media posts, investigators linked these individuals to 7 incidents, including a double shooting and later a triple shooting. The arrest and press conference were an attempt to underscore the city's reliance on digital footprints in combating gun violence, as well as trying to show the public that law enforcement was actually arresting people tied to the out-of-control violence that, to this day, plagues the streets of Philadelphia.
To hold those activities against you in a court of law. If you want to call yourself or associate with Hilltop, Northside, Southside, Pit Boys, P&B, you can expect also to be associated with SCI Greaterfoot, SCI Mahanoy, the county jails, and a whole bunch of the other SCIs, if not federal prison, for the kinds of violent activities that tear our society apart.
We were able to identify 5 groups that were driving violence within the neighborhoods of Southwest and West Philadelphia. Those groups primarily associate with the areas of 60th and Lansdowne, 64th and Callow Hill, 62nd and Callow Hill, 60th and Market, 66th and Lansdowne, 61st and Jefferson, and the 56th and Market and 60th and Spruce areas. We found that those groups were engaged in violence of escalation, fueled by ongoing shootings as well as social media and something as simple as schoolyard disagreements. These are not, as the DA said, these are not the conflicts that you may be used to hearing about over turf, over drugs. These are fueled by disagreements, which are exacerbated by social media posts, online music video posts, and insults to the memories of homicide victims and shooting victims that were members of these groups.
Can't breathe. I tried. No fucking back. Yeah, tell him to get with me. He got hit with the shit that hit Ricky.
No bullshit. Get me in the fuck up. Pick the fuck up. Let's get it.
We pull right down the aisles by big and my shit like.
Nobody slipping. And bro died 3 years ago, so how y'all niggas fixing? Oh, I'm a Lil Cayenne Duke. They don't know who did it, man. Them boys don't know the shooter.
Little buck see a shot, they like, oh no, that's a cold raid on the floor, it's a go though. I see one mirror, then I got a lot of FOMO. Hit him 4 times, I like what you on the flow for. 4 times fast, you get hit up with a fofo. 4 or 5 hit his 4A with bro. Nigga got that long. Niggas know just how we bumming. You know your bro was out there lacking that day just for nothing. I shit start dumping, tried to take fight, think he trip on something. You know them fixers get involved and we gon' blick on something. That's how we coming in, it ain't no.
3 men surrounded a house in West Philadelphia around 2 a.m. 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Then they pulled out guns and started firing. "15 bullets in all. Neither of the 2 people inside was hit, but shots shattered windows and entered a back bedroom before the shooters ran away." Surveillance footage of that 2018 incident was shown on 6ABC as police searched for leads, and according to court documents, Deshaun Packer took notice. "I'm leaving Philly tomorrow too, bro," he texted a friend, sending a link to the news story, along with laughing emojis. "I'm on the news, 3 different shootings on camera," he said. Deshaun Packer, or Shiz, was right. He was on the news, along with Devin Bryant, Xavier Vinny, and Sabir Scott. Prosecutors detailed that series of events to a grand jury in March of 2021, saying Packer was one of the men who fired into the house because there was a bounty for shooting at it. And at a news conference in West Philadelphia, authorities said the incident was one of 7 back-and-forth shootings that Packer and the 3 other men committed in the area in 2018 and 2019, part of an ongoing feud between 0 to the 4 and 616, among other groups, what they called street groups, that left 9 people wounded, including an 8-year-old boy who was struck in the mouth by a stray bullet. All were members of either 616/661 or the Fixers, formerly Hilltop, or were members of 0 to the 4 or other smaller sets and blocks from around West and Southwest Philly. A lawyer for Devin Bryant, who prosecutors said was arrested in Louisiana in January of 2021 and extradited back to Philadelphia, faced charges for the April 10, 2018 non-fatal shooting of a 19-year-old. Prosecutors said the investigation was built using evidence including surveillance video, social media posts, text messages, YouTube videos, and cell phone records.
6:43 now. Philadelphia, like most big cities, is in a crisis of teenage gunfire. So far this year, 128 children have been shot, at least 18 killed.
More and more prosecutors say social media is either playing a role or providing key evidence, from threats online to the reality of gunfire. NBC 10's Randy Gyllenhaal, he kicks off our series on the impact of social media on youth gun violence.
I heard boom booms.
November 2018, West Philadelphia.
Right here, right here.
Gunfire tore up this block as an 8-year-old boy was hit by a stray bullet. His mom watched helpless.
I grabbed my son because I seen blood, picked him back up. Mom, I was hit, I was hit, I was hit.
The targets of that drive-by were teenagers, and early on, police had a hunch that this was part of an ongoing feud.
The police say it's possible a social media beef led to last night's shooting.
It's been almost 5 years now. The bullet holes are still here, but the shooter, Deshaun Packer, is now in prison. Prosecutors say this is one example of young people feuding online with their beef spilling into reality.
This feud essentially starts over social media.
Assistant DA Jeff Palmer on the Gun Violence Task Force says so often lately social media is like brush fire.
The flames have been fanned on social media. That's really taken a lot of these feuds to the next level and led to a lot quicker retaliation.
This feud began in the summer of 2018. Police say one group near 64th and Callowhill went on Instagram Live, and then one of their rivals just a few blocks away hopped on the chat and started trash talking, split screen.
It's a big thing to go on social media and insult the memory of a group's deceased member. Once you go on Instagram Live, they're coming for you.
It led to 3 shootings that summer and fall. Prosecutors obtained Instagram data.
These are Instagram direct messages
showing the accused shooter, Deshaun Packer, posting pics with a similar gun inside a similar car used in that drive-by.
So we were able to use these public Instagram posts.
Cases like this are now somewhat routine at the task force. Unknown just how much of the city's gunfire has genesis online, but teens here say juvenile beefs are quite public.
For it to be happening on Instagram, Snapchat, and all these other apps, it's making it worse.
The DA's office points to root causes of violence like poverty, plus a surge of guns on the street, and now daily disputes are happening at the speed of apps.
But now everybody's saying, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? And feeding this endless cycle of retaliation.
Coming up tomorrow, the impact of this violent rhetoric as young people see it scrolling their phones.
Like it's a TV show, yeah, like it's a soap opera.
And what role violent lyrics play with school starting in just 2 weeks.
Black murder and music is normal.
Ballistics evidence also showed that the same firearms were used in several of the incidents, according to grand jury presentment. The indictments included the wounding of the 8-year-old boy, as I mentioned earlier, who was in his house on the 6000 block of Ludlow Street on November 25, 2018, when a stray bullet came through the exterior wall and struck him in the mouth, the grand jury presentment said. Prosecutors said Packer, a member of the group from 61st and Jefferson Streets, sometimes known as the Fixers, was one of the people who fired. They said the shooters had been targeting 2 other boys, ages 15 and 16, who were struck on the street and who were members of a rival group. The grand jury presentment from March 2021 says social media photos, text messages, and videos posted online sometimes showed the men discussing the violence or flaunting weapons that authorities later found during searches. Deshaun Packer was charged in the 9 fatal shootings of 7 people. That includes the 1 incident from November 2018 that we just talked about, in which 3 people were shot. 22-year-old Xavier Vinny was charged along with Packer for a 2018 non-fatal double shooting. Vinny, along with 24-year-old Sabir Scott, was also charged with the July 2019 non-fatal shooting of a 54-year-old. Devin Bryant was charged with the April 2018 non-fatal shooting of a 19-year-old. That press conference in March of 2021 was the beginning of the end for what would later become CCK. As month after month, year after year, members would go to prison, or even worse, be killed on the street, culminating in, by the time February 2023 rolled around, every notable member that is still alive except one mayor is sitting in jail or in prison at the moment. That includes lead rapper Lil Buck.
We told you 0 to the 4. We said you're gonna go to jail. 0 to the 4 is gonna go to the jail. We said. Did you hear what ADA Palmer said? There's not much of you left. That's why you're starting CCK. Or you're in CCK. Well, CCK is going away. And as for 524, we're gonna close your cell door. When it comes to
yeah. They know how we rockin', it's PMX, them big blockers. Niggas mad cause what's his name a pack? He ain't no soldier, big blockers. You niggas not posting up, so how y'all big blockers? Niggas know don't come in that one way, but that shit over.
Gun violence continued to rage across Philadelphia in June of 2021, 3 months after that original press conference, leaving a dozen people shot and 2 dead in less than 2 hours, according to the Philadelphia Police Department. I mentioned that 0 to the 4 and 616 were in a bloody feud. At the same time, 0 to the 4 was beefing with another set called JBE, or 524. They went by Big Blockers, or Spaghetti Gang, which goes from 52nd to 54th and King Sessing Ave. Sir Savage was a fairly well-known drill rapper from around 2020, 2021. He was made popular for his back-and-forth disses with Lil Bucks, One Mirror, and 0 to the 4.
About FNP, we paid the city rent. Fuck spaghetti, turn this shit to red lobster. Nigga, you a camper outside his crib between the lamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, your homies in my Fanta. Niggas not posting up, so how y'all big bloggers? We drink pain in the city red about my homie. Put your man all on that banner, bullets gave that nigga cancer. My name all on that track, try to say on the low cooler.
While the public could view this view from the outside, law enforcement would use subpoenas of social media accounts and cell phone records, and also ballistics recovered from crime scenes to get a better view of the action. In December of 2022, the DA held another press conference, this time with the announcement of more of the government's dismantling of the gang 0 to the 4. Following a nearly 2-year investigation, the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office said it has charged 5 people and issued warrants for the arrest of 3 others for their roles in trafficking guns and committing at least 5 separate shootings as part of the ongoing beef and drama in West Philly. Anthony Lacey Woodson, known as Pistol P, and Jalen Mickens, known as Skip, were arrested in December of 2022 and charged with murder and related crimes in the deaths of Sirkar Johnson Jr. and Salahuddin Mahmood, who were fatally shot during a 4th of July barbecue in 2021. Around 100 people were gathered with their friends and family on 60th Street celebrating the opening of Johnson's new clothing store when prosecutors say Lacey Woodson, Mickens, and 2 others emerged from a car and fired more than 100 bullets at the store.
Afternoon, Philadelphia police released dramatic new video of a 4th of July shooting that left 2 dead. Police say just after 10:30 p.m., 4 men with handguns arrived on the unit block of North 60th Street in West Philadelphia in a dark gray colored sedan. The men then got out, opened fire, striking 2 men and 2 women. Then they got back in the car and fled the scene. A 21-year-old man and 23-year-old man did not survive. 2 women suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
Pistol P has an uncle named Thule. Frank Smith, or Thule, was killed along with another young man named Buka, who was only 15 years old at the time, in December of 2020. Both were close friends of Lil Bucks. They were killed allegedly by 524 members, according to police.
A man and a teenage boy were critically injured after a shooting in the King Sessing area of southwest Philadelphia. Eyewitness News on the 1200 block of South 51st Street around 7 o'clock tonight. Police say the 21-year-old was shot multiple times. A 16-year-old was shot in the head. No one has been arrested yet.
Trevin Johnson, or Baby, who associates with 524, was charged with murder, attempted murder, conspiracy, and related charges for his roles in a double shooting that occurred on the 5900 block of Lansdowne Avenue and another double shooting with 1 person dying that occurred all on the same day. The second shooting on the 4600 block of Walnut Street on June 29th, 2021. A 21-year-old and a 19-year-old were shot and seriously wounded when Johnson and 2 other shooters, later identified as 524 associates Kenneth Wilson, or Skeezy, and Jasir Nelson, or Sir Savage, arrived in a red Honda Civic. They exited the vehicle, opened fire, and then fled in the same vehicle. Surveillance video captured the shooting, as well as the make and model of the getaway car. Investigators recovered 24 9mm fired cartridge casings and 12 .762 fired cartridge shells from the Lansdowne Avenue crime scene. Johnson, Wilson, and Nelson are also alleged to have committed a homicide and non-fatal shooting later that day when the 3 allegedly targeted a 36-year-old woman and a 33-year-old woman who were sitting out front their residence. When Philadelphia police responded to the 4600 block of Walnut Street, they found a 36-year-old deceased and a 33-year-old shot, wounded in her legs and arms. The gunman had fired over 20 shots at the woman. The spent cartridge casings recovered at the scene matched the ballistics located at the Lansdowne Avenue crime scene earlier that day. Investigators subsequently determined that a total of 4 firearms were used between the 2 crime scenes.
Some of the latest victims of Philadelphia's violence. So STVPhilly is live at Penn Presbyterian, and even though this story is so tragic, also 9 people total shot overnight.
Well, it's actually 15. It depends on what time you start the overnight, but 15 since the commander I talked to started his shift which is before the sun goes down. And he was at the scenes of 3 people killed, and I'll get to them. But I'm going to start with actually positive news in all this mayhem, because we're at Penn Presbyterian, where we were with the 6-year-old son of the sister who survived. And we met him when police raced back, whether another guy came back to the same scene with a gun. And we didn't know. One cop said somebody might be back here to finish the job or looking for whoever they intended to kill. So me and the 16-year-old came over here, a live truck followed, and then he got some good news and came out and told me that his mom is going to be okay and may actually get released as early as today. And so he's going to try to go home and sleep somehow. And this is where we are now. This is the video of the 46th and Walnut scene, a nice renovated apartment building. They were outside because it's so hot and they were trying to keep cool. The 33-year-old mother of the 16-year-old, the one that survived, lives there. Her 36-year-old sister was just over visiting. They thought, let's hang out. The 33-year-old son that we went with was inside playing video games. And he hears over the sound of his loud video games what he thinks is fireworks. And he goes, nope, it's too loud. It's getting too loud and it's too long. And then suddenly his mom runs in screaming, bleeding. He sees the bullet wound that's in her arm. She's shot in the legs as well. They run in the back for cover. And then he finally goes out and he sees his aunt shot in the eye, in the face, in the chest, in the back, on the steps, bleeding badly. The police arrive. They rush both sisters to the hospital. One survives, one does not.
21 shots were fired from 2 separate caliber semi-automatic weapons. Several of the spent shell casings appear to be rifle rounds because they're much longer and appear to come from a rifle. And the other spent shell casings are clearly from a semi-automatic handgun. So we know 2 weapons were used. Due to the fact that the ballistic evidence is so close to where they were sitting, some shell casings on the highway, many shell casings on the sidewalk, and they were struck so many times, it appears that one of them or both may have been the intended target or targets.
Police eventually linked one of the 9mm handguns used in the shooting to Jasir Nelson, or Sir Savage, after it was recovered during his arrest. Online photographs also depicted Nelson holding a rifle capable of firing .762 rounds. The .762 fired cartridge casings also matched another firearm that was recovered from Kenneth Wilson after his arrest. Kenneth Wilson and Jasir Nelson are facing murder, attempted murder, and related firearms charges stemming from their involvement in these shootings. They are also currently serving time in state incarceration for commercial robbery after the Gun Violence Task Force previously had a successful investigation and prosecution. Back to Pistol P. As documented in court records, he would try to get back for Thule on a 4th of July night in 2021. As I said earlier, when Sir Queso Johnson and Salahuddin Mahmoud were killed, the shooting at Sir Queso's clothing shop wasn't the only incident police say 0-4 was involved in trying to get back for Thule. In January 2021, less than a month after Thule's death, Pistol P and 3 other members went to a house on Paris Street, which they believed to be a party where 524 members were at. Multiple shots were fired into the first and second floors from the outside, some inside the home, then began shooting toward the outside, police said. A 34-year-old woman was struck once in the arm. She was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Police found approximately 20 shell casings across the street from the home. 15 shell casings were found inside the home.
Got the drop and they hit shit, I know that made them real man.
One of the 4 people in the car that night was Fabian Crary, who would go on to cooperate with authorities, according to Lil Buck, which is probably why he's the only one not pictured in the news report. Authorities said Antonio Walker was shot in the chest and arm around 7 p.m. near the 5200 block of Pentridge Street. He ran west after being shot and collapsed on the sidewalk, according to the Philadelphia Police Chief Inspector Scott Small. Antonio had been walking home from playing basketball at a nearby playground.
Investigators trying to figure out who shot and killed another 15-year-old in the city's King Sessing section. Police say someone opened fire from the back of a silver Ford Taurus last night in an apparently random act of violence. Action News reporter Corey Davis talked to the victim's parents, who say none of this makes any sense.
Antonio Walker Jr. lost his life out here at South 52nd and Pinterest Street. His parents are telling us that the gun violence he fell victim to had nothing to do with who he was as a person. Antonio Walker Jr.'s parents are keeping this picture close, hanging on to everything that reminds them of their 15-year-old son.
The loss of a kid, I will be mourning for the rest of my life.
No parent should ever have to bury their kid. It's my only son.
Antonio's life was taken while walking with someone down South 52nd near Pentridge Street last night around 7 in Kingsessing.
His life was brutally cut short.
Philadelphia police say someone driving by stopped and started shooting. Antonio suffered fatal injuries.
Yesterday was one of the first nice days we had in a while, and it's crazy because I was actually interviewed eating at a restaurant yesterday, and my son wanted to go hang with his cousin, and I felt nothing wrong with that.
His parents tell us he was dedicated to school and did not hang out in the streets.
All he wanted to do was get back to school, finish his education, and become the professional athlete that he was. He worked out every single day.
Here he is with his track medals around his neck. His mom says Antonio was a 9th grade track star at Frieri Charter School in Center City. She wants him remembered that way, rather than just another number.
My son is another number of this large rising number of homicides. My son is part of that number. It's devastating. His future was so bright. So bright.
Investigators are telling us they did not find a weapon and are still working to gather more clues. In the meantime, Antonio's parents say they are planning his memorial service.
On the 4th of July, 2021, 2 additional shootings happened before the cookout on 60th Street. Pistol P and Skip are linked to all 3 shootings. There was a shooting on the afternoon of July 4th, 2021 on 54th Street where 2 people were shot. Then, a few hours later, a 15-year-old boy was shot in his leg and foot on the 6000 block of Walton Street in West Philadelphia at 10:36 p.m. that Sunday night. Sakar's business is a 3-minute drive from the part of Walton Street where the 15-year-old was shot. All these shootings, including the one on Paris Street where the 34-year-old woman was shot, are tied together through ballistics, cell phone records, and social media posts, according to police. Pistol P was charged with 2 counts of murder, criminal conspiracy, and 4 counts of aggravated assault. Pistol P is additionally charged with the other shootings on the 4th of July, attempted murder, criminal conspiracy, and related offenses for the non-fatal shooting of the 2 people on 54th Street, and aggravated assault and criminal conspiracy for the non-fatal shooting on Walton Ave of the 15-year-old boy. Pistol P is additionally charged with aggravated assault, criminal conspiracy, and related offenses for a non-fatal shooting at the 3800 block of Paris Street on January 16, 2021. And finally, Pistol P is also charged as part of an alleged straw purchasing conspiracy with 4 counts of VUFA, which stands for the violation of the Uniform Firearms Act, or in plain English, an illegal gun.
My man getting bougie on them drills. He is getting bougie. Hold on, what kind of jacket you got on?
And I jump all the way back.
You jump out with your chain on. I already know how you did. Look at him. He said YBC piece. You want that?